Okay, we'll see what this does. Alrighty. Lee here. So I was just doing a scope and we started that at 9 o'clock. My name's Lee Cole. I'll reintroduce myself in case anybody new comes on this. Delilah, glad to see you joined again. 870, nice to see you. And people kept saying they couldn't hear the scope. Periscope, in case you were wondering, has been growing like wildfire, and I think they're having some major issues with with their growth. I noticed that there were some scopes I did a week or two ago where I had like one or two people on the scope. That's rare for me. I generally have 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, whatever. Um, but it is what it is. The deal about scopes is just to get a lot of content out there fast and make it real and make it enjoyable for people and something they can learn from. So, back to the topic. Today, we're talking about my favorite topic, failure. So, I do daily online scopes about business Monday through Friday at 9 o'clock. I also have a lot of really great followers only content. So, follow me. And also, if you like this content, swipe and share on Twitter, on Facebook. Yosemite, how are you? Seven Edges, Andy, how are y'all? Looks like this scope is working much better. So, yeah, I had just, guys, for those of you piling on now, I had just started this a few minutes ago and was talking about it, and people kept saying they couldn't hear it. So, we will get down to the meat of the program. So, I see those hearts. I'm loving those hearts. I'm trying to get my heart count up to 5,000. So, if y'all would heart, that would be very cool. Also, swipe and share on Twitter, swipe and share on Facebook. Today's show is all about failure and how, I might do several shows on this because it's a big, very important topic and it keeps people trapped. So, you know, I was talking about platitudes and bumper stickers, how, you read these things about failure, if you do any self-help or, in any work on yourself, if you're interested in entrepreneurship or positive thinking or anything like that, that's not unusual that the two go together. So, a lot of times people say, well, failure is nothing but learning, so you can just translate that and call that learning. Well, I don't know about you, but when I was in a learning environment, the times I've been in school or taking classes or online classes, it was a pretty forgiving environment. I mean, it was pretty nice. I enjoyed it. I may not have understood everything immediately. I might have got a little frustrated and stuff like that, but it didn't hurt. But failure can hurt, and failure can hurt very badly. And I was using the example before. Some folks told me that the scope wasn't working that well technically, and we had to start over. I was using the example of like bankruptcy and getting sued and things like that. I've never been bankrupt. I've been close in the past. I mean that this is common with entrepreneurs, unfortunately. We lead a different life when it comes to money. We're willing to take a lot more risk and experience a lot more failure in order to make more money, and especially in order to satisfy our creative need, frankly. It's not just about money. So, bankruptcy hurts. Being sued by business partners hurts. Suing business partners hurts. Ending up in court hurts. I mean, these are all extremely stressful things. It may not be up there with having, somebody close to you die, or it may not be up there with getting a divorce, but it's right, and I've never had the divorce thing, but it's right below that. Okay, I mean, it is right below that. People are so invested in, especially in our culture. I'm an American. People are so invested in and success and outward appearance and things like that. And they tell themselves so many lies to themselves and to other people. And I'm not saying they're liars. It's just it's the fake it till you make it mentality. They tell themselves so many lies and stuff like that. They get so emotionally invested in their success that when that house of cards comes tumbling down, there's enormous psychic pain. So, bottom line, guys, failure really hurts. I have had that experience, and probably as long as I'm on this planet, because I tend to do things that are a little, on the cutting edge of stuff, I will probably continue to have this experience every once in a while. You can't avoid it. Failure really hurts. I liken this whole thing to boxing. Years ago, I used to do a lot of martial arts and a little boxing and stuff. If you get into the ring, you get hit. I mean, sir, like, you're really boxing? It's going to hurt. I mean, I have, you can't see it now, but I have like 11 stitches that went up through my face there. I'm the only person that I know personally who's ever actually broken his nose. Now, people say they broke their nose. They break that little cartilage right there. I have a section of my skull starts here and goes up. I have a section of my skull that floated around for about 6 months because it got broke. Pain hurts. If you get in the ring, you've got to be able to experience the pain. You got to go with the pain. Okay? Business, online business, all that stuff. And this, it's not just business. This translates into whatever the thing that you want to change. Okay, so maybe you have trouble with what other big things do people have trouble with besides money? It's generally relationships and health. Okay, money, relationships, and health. So, relationships, you were burned by somebody. Been there, done that. Not done that, but been there, had that. Um, you were burned by somebody. Um, you have health issues, stuff like that. I mean, this is scary. I went to the doctor about 3 years ago and had a blood test, and the doctor called me back in his office and said, your red blood count is down 1/3 from what it was, a year ago. You have something seriously wrong with you. And they were sending me to a blood specialist and all this stuff. And so I went to another doctor and he redid the test, and the test turned out all normal. Now, in the space, there was like a month of extreme worry, all right? Extreme worry, because they're telling me like I've got major blood diseases that are rare and incurable, okay? So extreme worry. Turns out it was an accident. But I'm saying that health issues, very scary. Relationship issues, loneliness is really, really sad. I mean, lead people to suicide. Financial issues keep you up at night, make you feel, but worse than that, make you feel unworthy. Okay, make you feel deep down like you're just a piece of crap loser. I'm just being honest and not trying to trash up the scope with a bunch of rude talking. But I mean, that's just the way it makes you feel. So here's the deal. Failure actually does hurt bad. It hurts real bad. That's why people in their lives stay imprisoned right there. Okay, look at my hands. I am drawn. Your life is in here. Okay, so you're just kind of bopping around here. You know dogs that wear those little dog collars and they get up to the invisible fence and it zaps them, and they choose to pull back. That's like there's like a failure fence, right? You know. So if you kind of go toward the failure fence, here you are going toward the failure fence. You kind of go toward the failure fence. You know, oh, it's getting kind of getting some zaps here. This is starting to hurt a little bit. But that's what keeps you trapped right there. It is that fear of failure. And I am validating that fear of failure. And I am telling you that it's not just, okay, it's going to go away if you read the right bumper sticker. Or if you get the right book on Amazon, it's going to go away. Okay, now there are some things that'll make it go away. A good spiritual grounding will make it go away, frankly. Okay, but and that has whatever faith you're in or not in, just go with that. A good spiritual grounding will make it go away. But there's not anything else that'll make it go away. I mean, it's there. So if you want more, okay, than what you have, you look around and you think, okay, this is okay, or it's not okay, or whatever. We might get into gratitude another time. That turns out to be an amazingly powerful, powerful thing to have going for you. But if you look around, you have what I call your inner entrepreneur. You have something compelling you to do something different, to get out on your own, to do something creative, to prove that you could do it, to start a business, start an online business, get with a network marketing company, whatever. What's holding you back from that is the fear of failure. A lot of times, people say it's the fear of success sometimes. I don't really buy into that too much. Maybe that's just not my deal, but it is the fear of failure a lot of times for a lot of folks. And I've coached a lot of people, okay, through this kind of thing. But I'm validating your fear of failure. You have every rational right to be mortally scared of failure. Just like, I mean, because it hurts so bad. You can lose your home. You can lose your wife. You can lose your husband. Your kids might end up hating you because they hadn't had their brains straightened out about what's important and what's not. Failure hurts bad. So now you got a choice. If you want something qualitatively different from what you have, you're going to have to risk failure. Are you going to be smart enough to avoid failure? No, you're not. You're not. You may think you are, and you may be on some ego trip where you think you are, but that won't happen. I know lots of entrepreneurs, both online and offline. And when you get to know people, those failures, they're there. They're in the closet. They're like extremely hard to get merit badges, and but you keep them locked up because they hurt so bad when you got them, right? So, but inside, you've got a dream. Inside, you've got a push. Inside, you've got a desire to go somewhere. My own faith is a Christian. I am a born again Christian, and if you're not, that's totally cool. I'm not too worried about it. But I do read the Bible, and I was reading the book of Joshua, which comes after. It's the sixth book of the Bible. It comes after the Torah, the first five books. And in the first chapter of the book of Joshua, God's telling Joshua what it's going to take for him to lead the Jews into the promised land. Moses led them up to the promised land, but now Moses died because he couldn't go in, and then Joshua leads them into the promised land. And in that first chapter, God says, you really don't need anything but two things. He says this 4 times, I counted them. You really don't need anything but 4 things. You need strength and courage. Why? Because there's failure involved. They didn't just walk in there and walk into, la la land. I mean, they walked into a series of wars where a lot of people got killed. So you inside, I'm just using that as a sort of a paradigm. You inside have something you want to change. You want your health to change. You want your relationships with other people to change. You want to find a spouse, a significant other. You want to get over your addictions. You want to start that business. You want to do these things, but what holds you back is that prison of failure. But I'm telling you, that those bars on that prison of failure, they're very strong. And they're very scary. And crossing that threshold, if you fail, and you will fail, is going to hurt a lot. So here's the answer. Okay, let's wrap this stuff up. Here's the answer. You're going to die. All right. Well, let's just go with that, right? I mean, there's nobody on this planet 200 years old. I mean, at some point you're going to die. So, which is kind of a good thing, because I think after you die, it's going to get even cooler. So once you kind of get over that, if you will release all the crap, all right, if you will just release, and this isn't going to solve the failure is painful problem, this is going to help. If you will start releasing all of these things that you think you have to have and how your life should be, then you're going to start untangling why you're doing stuff, and it's going to start becoming very clear to you. And what's going to happen on the inside is that impetus, that push, that drive to do new things is going to be so strong that you're going to drive through the pain anyway. If you fail, you fail. If you go bankrupt, you go bankrupt. If your spouse doesn't understand you, God bless you. I am so blessed. My wife has gone, I've been married over 30 years. My wife has believed in all my craziness. And that's rare. I understand that. And I understand that I was blessed when I found her and we got married. Or she found me, or somebody found somebody. But anyway, I got that. I got that most people don't have that in their lives. Most people have a spouse who probably loves you, but is really focused on let's get all the dots connected, let's do all this stuff right, and let's achieve, what we call in the United States the American dream. So at some point you've got to decide, you've got to decide. I mean, are you going to fish or cut bait? But see, if you're going to forge ahead, if you're going to go down the path that on the inside, you've got the feeling, you've got that interior feeling, right? If you're going to go down that path, there's going to be failure, and there's going to be a lot of pain. But see, what you got to decide is, do you want pain or regret? I guess that's the best way to wrap it up. Do you want to die with regret, wishing that you could have, or maybe even worse, denial? Well, I didn't want to do that anyway. Or do you want to just man or woman up and go through the pain and create the life that I think God means for you to create? So you decide, ball's in your court. I'm just giving you some thoughts on one of my favorite topics, because it holds so many people back, including me. I have to talk myself through this on a daily basis. Failure. God bless you. I love you. I'm so glad that you're listening to my scopes. Make sure you follow me. I got lots of cool stuff coming up. And check me out online. I'm at facebook.com/LeeColeOnline. Check me out on my blog, internetmaverick.com. Follow me here because I have a lot of great followers only content. Without you, I don't even have a show, but I have Monday through Friday shows, 9 o'clock Eastern, every day, rain or shine. Talk to you soon.